Hello! Welcome to Essay Nights, the Essay Slayers. My name is Julie and I will be your instructor as we read through Health and Safety Policy of Dublin Bus essay. The article source is embedded in the video description below. Feel free to read along. Please note that you can get a custom, plagiarism-free essay for as little as $10 a page at Essay Nights. The link is in the description. This safety statement has been prepared in accordance with the requirements of Sections 19 and 20 of the Safety, Health and Welfare at Work Act, 2005. This safety statement specifies commitment, lines of responsibility and accountability for safety together with a list of risk assessments within the organization. In July 2007, new and revised General Application Regulations 2007 were published. These regulations were signed into law on 1 November 2007. Prescribed under the SHWW Act 2005, these regulations provide details of how compliance with health and safety legislation is to be applied in the workplace. These regulations have been examined and appear at regular intervals throughout the Dublin Bus Safety Statement. Company commitment. The company is committed to ensuring so far as is reasonably practicable, the safety, health and welfare at work of all of its employees, as required under Section 8 of the Act, with particular regard to the provision and maintenance of a safe and healthy working environment. The provision of a safe place of work and means of access to and egress from it. The provision and maintenance of plant and equipment and of systems of work that are as safe and without risk to health as is reasonably practicable to achieve. The provision of information, instruction, training and supervision will enhance the health and safety at work of its employees and prevent improper conduct and behavior occurring. The safety and absence of risk to health in the use, handling, storage and transport of articles and substances, including the provision of suitable protective clothing and equipment where hazards cannot be eliminated. The arrangement for adequate facilities for welfare, including medical and occupational health services. The maintenance of the safety, health and welfare at work of its employees, which is as important as the management of production, cost effectiveness, sales, etc. It is company policy to provide the appropriate resources of time, personnel, expertise and finance as required under Section 12 of the Act to enable the above responsibilities to be met. Dublin Bus is committed to the highest standard of housekeeping. The company is committed to keeping its workplaces clean and hygienic. The company is committed to high standards of lighting in all work areas. The company will ensure comfortable working temperature, suitable clothing is provided that is adequate where necessary for work outdoors and in inclement weather conditions, good ventilation while attempting to minimize drafts, mechanical ventilation where fresh air supply is insufficient, heating systems which do not give off fumes into the workplace, noise levels controlled to reduce nuisance as well as damage to health. Heat stress reduced by controlling radiant heat by positioning heater units at correct levels and installing independent unit controls. It is illegal for staff to smoke in a depot, on a bus or in offices or any other indoor work areas. Under no circumstances should staff smoke in the workplace except in designated areas. The risk is minimized by implementing good housekeeping standards, safe working practices and use of safe materials by cleaning staff, and insistence on the use of appropriate footwear. Sharp object/needle stick injury. There is a risk to all staff, particularly cleaning staff, associated with picking up miscellaneous discarded items that are too large for removal by the vacuum. Medium. Staff notices highlight the importance of vigilance in regard to these hazards. Pickup staff should use protective gloves at all times. Drivers. Internal vehicle movement. The hazards associated with the internal movement of vehicles include serious or fatal injury to persons and property damage. Medium. To minimize the risk, all staff when driving on Dublin Bus property must not exceed posted limit, must not turn too sharply, must not drive too close to persons and must only reverse when necessary. As interface can't be avoided, the company is committed to implement such precautions as are practical. The provision and maintenance of radios on all buses and liaison with local guardia to improve security. Manual handling. Many employees working within the Dublin bus depots are involved in some manual lifting and handling as part of their daily working duties. Any manual handling of loads can pose a hazard to employees. Medium. Dublin bus depots ensure that no person will be expected to lift loads that would likely to cause him or her injury. Lifting equipment is provided in all locations for all tasks that involve lifting. Dublin Bus Depots, portable hand tools. Common injuries from use of hand tools include cuts, burns and pinches. Medium. It is Dublin Bus policy to purchase only portable electric tools that conform to the highest safety standard. Dublin Bus Depots, cash/stock security. Many Dublin bus premises have got cash and/or ticket stocks. There is always a threat of robbery in these locations. All cash offices are designed to high security requirements. 6 monthly security reviews take place in each garage, and an annual audit by the insurance underwriter takes place. Mr. James McHugh protection against assault and robbery. Almost all Dublin bus routes are auto fare. This has removed robbery as the principal motivation for attack on drivers. Medium. The provision and maintenance of radios on all buses and liaison with local government to improve security. Mr. James McHugh vehicle breakdown. There are a number of risks surrounding the operation of vehicle breakdown. Usually personnel from both traffic and maintenance are involved, and in many instances, customers are involved. Medium. Engineering staff will have to attend the scene to assess the vehicle and either make an on-the-spot repair or recover the vehicle to the garage for further investigations and repair. Engineering staff, operation of vehicles. A risk of injury associated with crews taking over or while operating vehicles exists. Medium. Staff must be aware of any spillage in garages/garage yards or on the open road. Engineering staff, driver fatigue, risk of causing accident. High. Drivers should get periods of high-quality sleep and rest. Make sure that drivers' working and driving schedules are kept within reasonable. Drivers, record your findings. Safety, Health and Welfare at Work Act 2005. Duties of employers. Duty to ensure the design, provision and maintenance of any place of work under the employer's control in a condition that is safe and without risk to health. Duty to ensure the design, provision and maintenance of safe means of access and egress from any place of work under the employer's control. Duty to ensure the provision of systems of work that are planned, organized, performed and maintained so as to be safe and without risk to health. Duty to ensure the provision of such information, instruction, training and supervision as is necessary to ensure the safety and health at work of employees. Duties of employees, to take reasonable care for his/her own safety, health and welfare and that of any other person who may be affected by his/her acts or omissions, to cooperate with the employer and any other person to enable the employer or other person to comply with statutory obligations. To use any suitable appliance, protective clothing, convenience, equipment or other means provided intended to secure the employee's safety, health and welfare, and to report to the employer or immediate supervisor, without unreasonable delay, and safety health defects in plant, equipment, place of work or system of work, of which he/she becomes aware. Risk and Safety Management. The Health and Safety Manager, Mr. James McHugh, will provide proactive support for the safety, health and welfare of employees, visitors and contractors, the safety of customers and other road users and security of premises, fleet and equipment. Safety awareness among employees, customers and others affected by Dublin bus activities shall be promoted and guidance and direction provided for management in all matters relating to safety. Staff safety training will be organized across all areas of the company. Safety audits, risk assessments and safety monitoring will continue to form the basis of effective risk management. Liaison with external bodies will include the Health and Safety Authority, the National Industrial Safety Organization, the National Safety Council, IBC, the Construction Industry Federation, the Institution of Occupation Safety and Health, the Royal Society for the Prevention of Accidents, the Road Safety Authority, as well as independent, commercial occupational safety and health consultative, training and fire survey agencies. Responsibility. The Chief Executive, Mr. Paddy Doherty, is responsible for the establishment and maintenance of the safety statement by taking a direct interest in the company's safety, health and welfare activities and affording support in terms of staffing and resources to those whose responsibility it is to carry it out. The discharge of this responsibility devolves on the Chief Engineer Dublin Bus, Mr. Shane Doyle, whose deputy for the purpose of the SHWW Act 2005 is Mr. James McHugh, Health and Safety Manager. He will ensure that senior managers are aware of and implement their responsibility in relation to managers reporting to them. Cooperation of employees. Dublin Bus employees are legally obliged to cooperate in the promotion of safety, health and welfare in the workplace, as specified under Section 13 of the 2005 Act. Safety representatives, as required under Section 25 of the Safety, Health and Welfare at Work Act 2005. Safety representatives have been elected to represent the safety, health and welfare interest of employees. Appropriate training is made available to representatives and they are afforded facilities for the carrying out of their duties as specified in Section 25. In addition to informal everyday contact between local management supervision and safety representatives, regular meetings will be held between local management and safety representatives and a record of the proceedings will be maintained. Training. Manager Employee Development and Equality. Ms. Pat normally is responsible for formal staff training within the company. As our core business is primarily related to bus driver training, Mr. John Flynn, Training School Manager, is responsible for the day-to-day running of these training programs. To ensure the effective implementation of the safety statement and to ensure that employees are able to discharge their responsibilities in a safe and healthy environment, appropriate training will be given as required both from within the company's resources and also utilizing outside expertise. All engineering staff, whether commencing employment with Dublin Bus or transferring from another depot, will receive induction training to ensure that they fully understand the hazards, safety precautions and emergency procedures associated with working in the particular depot. They will be given a tour of the depot in its entirety so they are familiar with the layout, fire escapes, assembly points, etc. This should be conducted by the engineering manager and must also include a briefing on fire safety procedures and a review of any site-specific hazards. In order to ensure that each employee receives a complete and comprehensive induction, engineering managers should complete the prescribed form and retain a copy on the employee's file. In compliance with the terms of the Safety, Health, Welfare at Work Act 2005 and the General Application Regulation 2007, Dublin Bus will provide mandatory training where necessary. Fire prevention. Responsibility for the management of the company's fire prevention policies rests with Mr. Shane Doyle, Chief Engineer, Dublin Bus. His deputy is Aidan McKinty, Assistant Engineer. Engineering managers are responsible for the implementation of fire precautions in their respective locations, as is the materials manager in regard to the materials handling premises in Broadstone, area manager, Central, in Central Control and Administration Officer, Human Resources Department in Earl Place. Drivers who discover a fire on their bus, or if a fire is brought to their attention by a customer must follow these instructions. Stop the bus immediately and switch off engine main switch. Evacuate customers from the bus to a place of safety. Call control and request assistance of fire brigade. If fire is small and safe to tackle, use fire extinguisher on board's bus. If not, leave the bus and go to place of safety with customers and await assistance. First aid. All Dublin bus sites have a first aid room, have trained first aiders and equipped with first aid provisions. All employees new to a site must familiarize themselves with local arrangements. New first aid regulations were introduced in November 2008. Employees who suffer injury in the course of their employment are required to present themselves for appropriate treatment. Treatment may be carried out in the place of work by the approved first aider or by referral to hospital or other. First aiders are required to keep appropriate records. First aiders are also required to acquaint their supervisors when first aid supplies require replenishing. Emergency plan. Emergency evacuation plans are part of the overall fire safety system and are outlined to fire marshals and wardens in the course of the training. All locations have plans displayed outlining the procedure to be adopted in the event of an emergency. These evacuation plans are routinely checked by the local manager. Fire wardens are appointed and trained and the statutory evacuation of premises is carried out twice yearly. Review and update. Printed copies of the Dublin Bus Safety Statement are held by management and safety representatives. Copies are also available at each location for the further information and perusal of all employees and are freely available to any member of the staff, on request. The safety statement is also available for viewing on the Dublin Bus BusNet system, the public and work driver on your computer and the public folders of your email inbox. Additionally, this safety statement is available to any other person, for example contractors likely to be affected by Dublin Bus activities. The Dublin Bus Safety Statement, which is a living document, will be updated at least annually as per Section 20 of the SHWW Act 2005. Where necessary, it will be revised periodically, or as directed. Thank you for taking your time to listen to me. I hope you enjoyed learning about health and safety policy of Dublin Bus SA as much as I did. Kindly remember that you can get a custom, plagiarism-free essay at A9AYTZ for as little as $10. The link is in the description. See you next time.